Hello and welcome back to the channel. Yeah, today I'm in my XJS. In truth, I've been driving this car for a good few weeks now, and I have to say, you know, I mean, I'm one of those sort of people that always tries to look on the bright side. So yeah, I mean, I've been nicely impressed with this car. I mean, you know, this is a 1995 XJS. That's done at the moment. It's done 125,700 miles, so it's quite high mileage. And yeah, and I've done a couple of hundred miles in it. But what's amazing, and I don't know whether this video will pick it up, but there is actually very little in the way of rattles and bangs. I mean, you know, when you think sort of people complain about build quality, I mean, this is, I'm really amazed actually. You know, the dashboard's all screwed in nicely. It clearly hasn't been messed with over the years. So that's been pretty good. Also, you'll probably be wondering about the temporary repair that I did on the front scuttle, and the weather here has been terrible, and unfortunately, I mean, a real lesson for me. I didn't take the camera out when I should have done, because I had this car out, and a couple of days ago it was absolutely pouring down with rain. I mean, so much so that we were sort of doing about 40 miles an hour on the motorway, and so yes, it was torrential, and I was expecting to come back and find the floors all full of water again, and that temporary repair to have failed, but it hasn't, and it's still all sort of firm, and inside is all nice and dry. So that's been an absolute result. It clearly needs to be, it still needs to be sorted out. So far, so good. It has actually stood the test of, let's say, its first few weeks of being used in the wet weather. The car, you know, like I said, it's behaved, you know, remarkably well. I haven't really found anything too untoward with it. The steering wheel is a bit off center, so that's why I've got the airbag out. Yeah. So the other thing was the handling. You know, I'm still running on those old tires, and so I'm a bit wary about pushing it too hard. But so far, you know, it goes round corners very nicely. I think whoever had this car before, yeah, I think they may have been quite heavy, because it sits down on one side, but that might be really unfair. But anyway, that may need to be dealt with. The brakes all now work. There's still a little bit of a squeak on the back. I don't think it's to do with the handbrake mechanism, which I had to sort of lube and get all working properly. So, yeah, there's still, it's obviously, I don't know, I'm going to have to investigate that a bit further. The engine, it seems to just pull. You know, it's not missing. It's firing on all cylinders, which is great. It seems to have plenty of power. I put my foot down and it all responds. So I haven't found anything untoward with the engine at the moment. And the gearbox, you know, it's really interesting, the gearbox, because this has got a 4-speed auto. Not quite sure who makes it, so possibly you can comment below and let me know. I mean, I will do my research and have a look at that, but I haven't really got into that. But I think what's incredible is that the difference between how this gearbox behaves and how the gearbox in the XJC behaves, that 3-speed box in that. In the XJC, it's got the V12 where we want to play around and, you know, really have fun with that engine, which is sort of one of the reasons why we're changing the gearbox. But also, I don't think you can call this a slush box. It just works as you would expect. And, you know, I suppose that's what, 80, 90, yeah. So that's 20 years of development between that car and this car. I think that's really interesting, of how the cars and the technology sort of advanced so much in terms of how the gearbox worked and how the engine and correlates with the gearbox and how the handling of the car is. So yes, I'm sort of heading home now, and I'm going to get the car into the garage and get it up on the lift. I want to give it a full service, and I've got a bit of time. Finished the jobs, as you may have seen if you've been following the channel. If you are, you know, now's a good time to give us the thumbs up. But if you are following the channel, you would have seen that I've now finished all the jobs on the 1960 XK150. And I'm waiting for the weather just to get have another nice sunny day, and I can take the XJC out, and I want to give that a road test before I remove the gearbox. So I've got a few weeks, so I want to get this car in the garage. I'm going to give it a service, change the engine oil, and enable me to, have more of a look around, I suppose. So I'm heading home now. And I will get I'll get it up on the lift, and then I will, as I go through the service, I'll show you what I discover. So we're back in the workshop now, and I'm just going to start to do this service. So I'm going to get the plugs out now, and but before I do that, I think I might just check the water content in the brake fluid, just because I'm not quite sure how old this fluid is, and whether or not we need to flush the system. I suspect we probably do. You may not have one of these, but this is a brake fluid testing machine. And so basically, it will tell me whether or not the brake fluid's any good. Now, I have no idea what fluid is in here, whether it's .3 or .4. So I'm just going to assume it's .4, and the moisture content has to be below 3%. Otherwise, it needs to be changed. So this has run its test now, and I'll put a picture of what the screen says on now. And we've got 4% moisture content, and you can see a big X saying no. So I'm going to have to drain the brake fluid and replace that. Knew I had it somewhere. To give you an idea, this is some .4. So if I now poke that in there like that, then rerun the test. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this multi-handed. Yeah, so if I run the test now, this is just standard .4 brake fluid. And you can see now I've got a 0.9% moisture content, which is what you would expect, considering it's it's unused, brand new brake fluid. So yeah, I'm going to have to change that brake fluid and get some new fluid in there. That's not a 5-minute job. So I think the other thing I'm going to do now is I've got some new plugs coming. So I think what I'm going to do now is get the plugs out of the car now, and then we'll start looking at the air filter, changing the oil filter. I've already run a flush on this car, so the engine's, it's still got the flush in the engine, so I haven't drained the oil yet. So yeah, let's get on and get the plugs out. So okay, so all the plugs are out now. So yes, so I suppose part of the purpose of the channel is really to learn the cars as we go. You know, I want to sort of learn about each sort of model and play with them, and either sort of do them up or get them on the road, or not have to do anything. You know, modify them maybe or whatever. But mainly just to sort of learn about each car. So yes, I have been doing my my research on this on this car, and on the engine, because obviously now we're doing the service. I want to know. I mean, I've serviced plenty of engines in my time, but yeah, I mean, I wanted to make sure I knew what I was talking about. So this is an AJ16 engine. It's not supercharged. I believe that one is called an AJR6 engine, the supercharged version, which is in the XJR. Perhaps you guys can comment on below and let me know about that one. But this is the non-supercharged version, and it's what they call a square or a nearly square engine, because it has a bore of so the piston diameter of 90 millimeters. I think actually it's 91, and a stroke of 100 millimeters, which makes it deliver power in a really balanced way with plenty of torque. So I suppose it makes it a cruising engine. Unlike the V12, you know, we talk about that one, and we will talk about that one later. But that's a 60-degree V12 with a bore stroke of 90 millimeters and sorry, a bore of 90 millimeters and a stroke of 70 millimeters, making it an over square engine. So in order to produce the power, it needs to rev, and that's why we're changing the gearbox, because we don't ever get into the power band. So yeah, so this is a square or nearly, very nearly square engine. Yeah, and so I'm just sort of doing the service on it. And so, as you know, I'm going to change the oil and that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to sort of give you the bits and pieces that might be relevant. So this engine, when you do the service and you change the engine oil on it, it needs about 8 litres of oil in order to fill it up again. So I think what I'm going to do next is I need to climb underneath and actually drain the oil out. Let's get this oil filter off. And then I've got something I need to show you guys as well. And there you go. Oh, look, perfect alignment with the Jaguar logo. Yes, I did that deliberately, honest. Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. I mean, the whole of the back of the engine is moving. I think this engine mount's knackered. So, I mean, surely it can't be like that. So, I mean, that's just going to break the exhaust and things. So, anyway, I don't know whether or not that's normal or not. I suspect it isn't. Perhaps you guys can comment and tell me whether that rear engine mount. I mean, I'm not joking. There's probably like an inch of movement in the back of it. So I think that engine mount is completely gone. So I need to change that. Okay, so the next job is to get the air filter out, and again, I've never done this before, so inevitably I'll probably end up taking more off than I need. But right, I need to take it all off, all the way back to the throttle body. So let's just undo that one. Okay, and that should now come out. There we are. It's pretty clean, actually. I will change it because I got the new one. You look inside, you can see it's obviously got some crap in there. I mean, you can see the difference. So it's pretty good, actually. Looking down in there, I think I'm going to hold off on putting this back in just for the moment. Okay. It's the new air filter in. I like to use these jugs because it actually you can measure. It's got increments on the side. So on the side here, it's got litres. So I know there's exactly 2 litres in here. Oh, that's tight. But I did put a new rubber seal on there, which is working a treat. So just grab the paper. Before I go any further. That was bloody stupid. Right. Just recovered from that bit of that spillage. Well, just under a litre left in that now. So I think what we should do is just check the engine oil, check the level. Yeah, okay. I think we'll chuck the rest of that in there. Right. Okay. The manual's right, 8 litres. So yes, okay. I fear that this video is dragging on quite a long time now. So I think I'm going to probably call it a day there, and then follow it up with another video, because I've still got to do all the belts on the front of the engine. Obviously, replace the spark plugs. And then I'm getting on to do the gearbox, service as well. So, but do let me know about the that engine mount. I mean, if you see that can't be right. So I'm going to do a bit of research, but please let me have your comments on that one. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said earlier, if you did like this video, please hit that like button, and keep subscribing, keep watching, and I will see you all in the next video.